Hello guys, it's Nim and welcome back to my channel. It's Sunday and that means Australia Planet Zoo. So in this series we are building an Australian zoo with obviously all the new animals from the Australia pack, and we are using mostly Australian built items, and everything will mostly be Australian or wood tone. Just because I like that, and whenever I think of Australian I think of that. Not that I've ever been in Australia. I don't have the tendency of going there because I've heard that Australia has really scary animals and bugs, and I hate bugs. I'm terrified of them and also allergic to most of them, so it's not really a country for me. But the nature in Australia, man, whenever I see Australia on TV, I love it so much. It is so pretty. And obviously I grew up with Steve Irwin. And when you grew up with Steve Irwin, you know all about crocodiles and all these Australian animals. So I was really excited to get this pack, and I was just like, wow man, now we can finally build the Australian zoo. And I know that I named my zoo Australia Zoo. It's not the Australia Zoo of the Irwin family, because I am in no way capable of rebuilding that. Number one, because I actually haven't been there, and number two, because my building skills are just not that great. Let's be honest, I'm pretty good at the game and I'm becoming better and better, but it's not like I'm as good as, I don't know, Rudy or Parsley or any of other great Planet Zoo person that I forgot, because now I'm rambling on. Anyways, going back to this video, we are starting with the entrance, and I wanted to do something different. We have this containery looking items, and I wanted to use them to build our entrance. So these are obviously information desks, but instead of using them as information desks, we are going to pretend that they are ticket booths. So we're gonna have this little shelf where you you can lean on, need to put the money when you're buying stuff. So it's really, I don't want to say it's real life, but it's more realistic than my other zoos. I mean, not to say that Woodland Zoo isn't pretty realistic, but I feel like this one, I was trying to give it a really realistic vibe to it. And if you haven't watched any of my Woodland series, it's linked down below. Make sure you check that out. I love that zoo. Just giving it the fact that Woodland Zoo is my favorite zoo that I've built so far. Who knows, maybe the Australia Zoo will be my second favorite. Who knows, maybe it will. So right now we are just copy and pasting over the ticket booth, because we don't want one ticket booth, we want two. And after we built this, we are trying to build a fence, so you can't just walk into the zoo, you need to actually go through the tickets. So I have demolished the original entrance for the zoo, and we are building our complete own entrance and plaza. So we're doing two plaza and also a food court and a staff area. We are doing a lot of things, okay? Just bear with me. I cut most of it out because obviously building something as big as this, and I'm not that skillful yet, it takes quite a long time, especially with the pathing system. I'm getting better at it though, but it is still difficult. So bear with me. Also, if you are looking at this video and you think ooh, damn girl, this chick is pretty good, or ooh, she has a nice voice, because people have been saying that to me. And not to be cocky, but my voice is pretty good. Anyways, you can always subscribe. It helps grow the channel. It helps me a lot with being more visible on YouTube and getting monetized, so I could actually earn a little bit of money with YouTube. Not that that's my main goal, because I also have a full-time job besides this, but it is always fun. So because I have been noticing recently that a lot of people are watching my videos, but they aren't subscribing. So if you're one of those people, why not subscribe? I mean, it's fun here. I post videos regularly. At the moment I'm posting a video every day, but that's because the new Adventures game is out as well, and I promised that I would play that. But otherwise I am posting on Monday, Wednesday, Friday and Sunday now for the Australia Zoo. And when our Australia Zoo is done, videos on Sunday will be bonus episodes. Anyway, so stay tuned for that, and make sure you follow me. So subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when actually I post videos, otherwise you won't be notified, and that would be a shame. So at the moment our entrance is giving this really shape. You can see the fencing that I used to have this really I don't really know what to call it, but in normal zoos where I go, they have like this giant fence so that you actually have to go over the 2 pathways that are leading into the zoo. So, and I wanted to do that as well. And then we are using this really rusty fencing, which I absolutely love. Just this fence, wow. You will see me using it a lot in this build. Like a lot. This fence is my favorite fence so far. And right here I wanted to give the illusion that you actually had to stand in line and then you had to go out of the fence and then walk through the next fence. Like, you know, giving it a little bit of a realistic zoo vibe. And like I said before, I've never actually done that, but I think it worked out pretty darn good, even if I say so myself. So we are now just fencing off the area where we are going to put some landscaping. And the landscaping that we got with the Australia pack, oh my gosh, I love it so much. I think I'm only going to build desert zoos from now on because the landscaping is so amazing. We got all these new different sorts of plants, and if you want to see what's on the Australia pack, make sure you check out the Australia overview that I did. That's also on my channel, and I will make sure that it's also linked down below. And if I forgot to link it down below, just check out my channel, you will find it there. So for this entrance we are using mostly Australia things, and that's where I find out like it's actually pretty darn amazing. All the different like shelter items and lights, they are so amazing. And our spawn point is actually going to be in this little corner, so our guests will be spawning from this. And we are building this little house around it, sort of saying. Obviously also with a roof. And when the guests enter from this little house, they can actually see the giant lake that is next to it. You will see that as well in some of the shots, and in the end you will see it all the way. And I actually really like the way that this looks. Obviously we are going to decorate it a little bit more, and we're going to make sure that this zoo looks nice at night as well. So we are placing those koala lights, and I love them so much. And to make it feel like this is really an old zoo, we're putting some like sunken fences, and I was thinking of doing something fun with those round things. It didn't work out this way, so we scrapped that idea, and now we are trying to figure out the pathing system. And I was making these 2 paths, and I was like, wait, I don't want it like this. So we obviously gonna remove all the pathing, and we are using with the grid, so you get square paths. And that way, it actually makes a lot more sense to me, because whenever you walk to a zoo, like you enter a zoo, it is quite a big open space. Like there aren't just little tiny paths everywhere, at least not in the zoos where I have been. So, and in a moment you will see me fencing it off as well, because, you know, that is necessary. I don't think I have got all of that in, because it's pretty boring to watch me placing, I don't know, like fences. So it's not all in there. But this fence, I will use it throughout the entire zoo, and it really shows something. I don't want to say like it's typical Australian, because I've never actually been in Australia, and but I've heard a lot of other Planet Zoo people that are also playing Planet Zoo. They're like, oh yeah, that's really Australian, so I'm just gonna trust them and believe that it's really Australia, because I have never been there. Also, what I have noticed is that the Australia map is actually a lot redder in sense than in the normal desert map. Like if you were to go to the desert in North America or Africa, this desert is a lot redder, and I absolutely love the red sands. I think maybe that's why I like this map so much. It is just, wow, it looks so pretty. And obviously, because we have all these new items, we are gonna need to use the new animatronic, and that is actually a kangaroo. And just this kangaroo will be pretty boring, so we are trying out the new foliage and vegetation that we got here. So it's all filtered on deserts. Because these are all the plants you will find in the desert, because obviously we are in the desert. And I just had to watch it as animatronic, because it's so cute. Now we are messing around with some cacti. I think that's the plural of cactus, right? Cacti, I think it is. And I don't want to overdo it, you know, because sometimes you could go like overboard in something and it doesn't look natural anymore. And I want it to look natural, but yet still as if people were planting it, if that makes any sense. So I want it to be natural, but also not natural, I guess. I even forgot my point where I was going here. I can't get over the fact of how amazing all these plants and trees looks. Even the rocks, like the amount of detail on them are amazing. Also, that was the point where I realized that just those koala lights weren't gonna cut it and that we needed some bigger lights in there. So we are placing this big like light pole that is also a giant leaf. And I absolutely love it. I love it. And obviously we are placing some more lights, but they don't really have that much of an effect, because I don't know what the heck is wrong with that little light bulb, but it gives so little light. I can't. And now, just for the fun of it, we are putting some little holiday lights on the ticket booths, just so that it's like more fun and more, I don't know, present. And you'll see that as well, we'll be needing a lot of light in the zoo. I don't know if that's because it is like a desert or if the zoos are always that dark in the night, but we were gonna need a lot, a lot of lights. Obviously, we're also gonna need some trash cans, because otherwise all the people are going to throw away their trash on the ground, which is not very nice and like polite, even when there's like no trash can around. I always just put the trash like in my pocket or something, and then I throw it away at home, or when I like see a trash can, because I think it's so rude to litter. Also, I put the entrance the wrong way around, so that was pretty fun. We are gonna reconnect the path though, don't worry. We did reconnect it. And I was wondering what I should do here, like, and then I found these little beware signs. So we are gonna place them on top of the ticket booths, so to give you an idea of what animals we are gonna place in here. So obviously we are going to have the koala, kangaroo, dingo, cassowary, which is apparently not an emu. I thought it was an emu, but it's not. And then we're going to have the blue-tongued lizard. And I was thinking also maybe some kimono dragons. And like, just need to look at the Zoopedia to see what other animals are in their natural habitat in deserts. There are probably a lot, so don't worry guys, we'll figure it out. We're gonna have like this entire zoo filled. It is not going to be a massive zoo. There will be around 10 episodes. I will count this as episode 1, even though I already did the terraforming for that map. But that was because last week I actually lost my voice, so I couldn't do a voiceover, so you got a terraforming map. You can watch it if you want to, like, I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty boring to watch. So like, you can, and you'll see me doing terrain, and maybe you don't know how to do terrain in Planet Zoo, and it could be a very good movie. It could be a very good video to see that, because it's actually not going that fast, so you will see how I did this map, the water, the rocks and everything. So that could be fun if you want to. And then starting from now, we will have 10 episodes, so the entrance will be episode 1. And then next week we will have Koala Islands, which I'm looking really forward to. I love koala bears, so that is like amazing. And right now we are finishing up the staff area. I'm just gonna keep it simple, because they don't really need that much. We are gonna give them like a lot of foliage, like a lot. But even though it is a lot and we're in a desert, it also looks like, at least to me, it looks like it really belongs there. And that's what I thought was really important, because I want to have the entire zoo the feeling that it just belongs in the desert. Like if you were riding your camel and you came across this zoo spontaneously. And that's what I want to achieve. Also, I'm gonna take a sip of my drink. And I don't want to lose my voice again. So I will be cutting in here a lot, because obviously we still need to do the pathways, and then I came up with some other ideas that we should incorporate in that. So as I said, we now just did pathways. Now we are going to decorate it some more, and we are still in the staff area. But I thought it was pretty important that the staff area looked nice, because there is actually a hill next to it, which we are decorating right now. And if you're standing on that hill, you will be looking down on the staff area. And I thought that it was pretty important for our guests to have like the amazing scenery point. They're like, ooh, the scenery is epic. Yes, even at the staff facilities, our scenery is epic. And besides that, I mean, the staff, they deserve to have a nice area as well. I mean, they work hard. It is around 44, I can't really read it, like 44 degrees in this zoo. Man, they are going to need like good staff facilities and everything, otherwise they're going to be unhappy. So we're done with the staff facilities. Now we are filling up our little entrance plaza, because whenever I go to a zoo, and probably you guys as well, the zoos you're going at, you go into the zoo, there aren't exactly like animals directly behind the entrance. I mean, maybe in some zoos, but there will also be this giant plaza. So I thought that was pretty important to incorporate, with some toilets obviously. And when you had like the big plaza, there will be obviously some seating areas, maybe some vending machines, maybe some vendors as well. Our vendors will be on top of the hill. And then going on from that, then there will be the animals. So our next week we'll have Koala Islands, and that is actually on the island that is in the middle of this like zoo. I also thought it was pretty funny to have like boys and girls toilets, and then name the girls kangaroos, because they have like this little, pocket, I think it's a pocket, I can't remember, where like the baby kangaroos in, and then the koalas will be the men's room. I know, I just thought that was funny. I don't think it's funny anymore now, and that's a lie. I think it's actually still pretty funny, but at the moment that I came up with that, I thought it was hilarious. So there is that. And now we are making sure that our plaza is also nicely decorated. Because like I said, it is in the zoo, or like a zoo in the desert, but you still deserve nice things there, and it's quite important that you have nice items and nice things. And at the moment we are building on top of our hill, a tiny hill, and we are building our food court and drinks. So this side will be food and the other side will be drinks, and we are making sure that the like the metal we are using is this really old brown oranges, so it's kind of rusted, and I thought it actually looked really nice and really Australian and deserty, so I liked it. And we are trying to get a little bit funky with the roof, because I didn't like the way it looked. So we are switching the roofs and then putting them back on, and I actually think this looks really, really nice. And it might just be me, but I kind of like it. And then with this edge on it as well, man, I really like it. I think it looks so good. And obviously we are using our fencing again. I'm sorry guys if you heard it, but I just like coughed really bad. So I hopefully I can cut that out and you don't hear it. And if you can hear it, I'm sorry, apologies. So we are going to use this fencing, and it was like kind of tricky because the fencing is going downhill. So I cut that bit out because, you know, you see how much fencing there is. That would have been so tedious to look at. So just trust me, it was quite annoying, but we managed in the end, so don't worry guys. And see that island on the right? Well, now in front of us, that island is going to be Koala Islands. And I quite like the way it looks. So right now we are making our bridge. And I wanted to have our bridge like these custom railings. And you have like this really rusted pipe and then this blue pipe, and I thought it was actually pretty nice to use that. So we are gonna paint them white though, because the blue I thought it was pretty awful. So we are using the white just to make it look like it's fresh and new. And you can also see that this zoo is like pretty good, like there's pretty good maintenance at this zoo because it's still white and it's not broken, so stuff like that. And now we are just going to decorate the rest of the zoo, and obviously we are going to put some fencing because we don't want tiny children climbing over the edge and then falling into the water. That is quite dangerous as a matter of fact, so we need to be careful for that. Oh, also, we had this new pathway in the Australia pack, and it is so difficult to see the difference between the path and the sand. Maybe that's just me, but I can barely see the difference. So I have a good feeling that I place some of the fencing like over the path, and then the guests will just be walking through the fence. I feel like that is quite a possibility that will happen. But you know what? If it happens and I notice it, it will be easily fixed. But I mean, look, can you see a difference between the pathway and the sand? I mean, if you look really closely, you can, but it's really, really difficult. And then again, we are decorating all the paths because, you know, that's one of my favorite things, decorating. In every game that I play, I just want to decorate. I mean, Sims 4, love the decorating, love the landscaping. Sims 2, well, not Sims 2, I just played the game. So, you know what, Planet Zoo, I just love building. I love building. Like, every game that I can build in, I own. Planet Coaster, love it. Even though Planet Coaster is really different than Planet Zoo, I still need to get a hang of Planet Coaster. But man, building your own theme park, oh, that is something I'd like to do. I'd also like, I mean, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be an architect. Because then you could actually like build stuff, you could go crazy. And then I got to Sims 2 and I didn't understand building. And then the Sims 3 didn't run on my computer. And then I got to Sims 4 and it's really, wow. Even if I say so myself, I'm pretty good at the Sims 4. Also Planet Zoo, getting better and better. If I look at the first and ever zoo that I actually did, wow. Actually the first zoo that I built was the River Safari. And it was okay. Like, there weren't a lot of items that were hand-built, but it was okay. I mean, actually that's not true. My first and ever zoo, I named it Dutch Zoo because I was out of inspiration. And I just made so many habitats and they were way too big and there were way too many animals and all my animals died. And my zoo got bankrupt. But we don't talk about the Dutch Zoo. My first and ever zoo was the River Safari. That's it, guys, okay? Trust me on that. Anyways, we are, I mean, while I'm rambling on, I'm also still building on screen and we are placing some more rocks just to make it a little bit more diverse. And I think in a minute we are actually going to make this giant fountain as well. You will see that in the cinematics, and I think we're almost at the cinematics actually. So I will be cutting off here. Again, guys, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and it helps me out a great deal. So make sure you do that and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye guys!